Anyway, today at school is Disney Day. Who is on my shirt? What Disney character is this?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. What are some of the things Peter Pan is known for?
Flying never grows up.
Flying never goes up.
Kidnaps children.
I guess he kidnaps children. One way to look at it. Yes.
Defeated Captain Hook.
Defeats Captain Hook. Anybody else?
What's her name? Tink?
Wendy, Tinkerbell.
Tinker.
Okay. Well, I want to talk today about not growing up. Okay. The idea of, and again, today is about growth. You're going to grow the most. I know you're a couple, but calm down. Let me have your eyes, please. You're going to grow the most, not by growing up, but by growing back. Even at a young age, I knew that I didn't want to be one of them, one of those grown-ups that they all seem to be kind of miserable and mean, and they lost that childlike wonder that makes childhood so magic. And I knew I wanted to be like Peter Pan, so we had Peter Pan on the door when you walk in every day. I didn't want to grow up. This is a language arts class. You're your greatest artist when you're young. And to me, growing up became synonymous with giving up. When you grow up, you got to give up your wonder. You got to give up your curiosity. You got to give up your imagination. You got to give up your playful spirit. You got to give up skipping instead of walking. You got to give up your purity. You got to give up your innocence. You got to give up that inclusiveness. No child hates. It's not innate. They include everyone. You got to give that feeling you can become anything and do anything. You got to give the love that love a little kid has for so many people. You got to give all that up because most adults don't have any of those things anymore. And I didn't want to give any of that up. So I didn't want to grow up. I wanted to grow back. And today we're going to talk about how growing back and then leading up, elevating others, like Deer taught us, how you really grow the most. Does anyone know what this thing is right here? It's a tricycle. It's a bike. It's not really a tricycle. But what's on the back wheel here? Training wheels. What do training wheels do? So you don't fall. What else do training wheels do? Teach you balance, teach you stability. Anything else? What's the point of training wheels? Get you ready to go out the wheels to ride a bike. Anything else? Almost all those statements are false. They're not true. That is not what training wheels do. However, that's what we've been told training wheels do. Up until a year ago, I was the exact same thing you guys are saying. Until I read more. One of the best ways to become more is to read more. You want to grow, you got to read. Little kids read more than adults do for the most part. You got to read and read and read. And then I realized that so many things we think are true are actually false. Because the hardest skill you learn to ride a bike is balancing. And what training wheels do is they take away any practice of balancing. And all you learn how to do is pedal. The pedal part is the easy part. And research shows that actually kids who go on training wheels take much longer and it's more difficult to learn how to ride a bike than those who don't have training wheels. You see, we think we're helping people grow by making it easy. We're actually making it more difficult. And one of the most important things to understand is that when people are really young, when you make it a little bit more harder for them, adulthood becomes easier. When you make it easy for them when they're young, adulthood becomes harder. And see, there's these things called balance bikes. They're bikes with no training wheels and also no pedals. And so kids just use their feet and they learn how to balance on it. So we learn in one day. And once they learn the balance, they add the pedals. You see, you do the most difficult task first and the easy stuff later. Training wheels, you do the easy part first and the hard part later, and then you screw up, take training wheels off. I got Troy right here. All right, Troy, you ready to go, Betty? He's like, yes, Daddy, or whatever, you know. And I'm pushing him. He's like, don't let go, Daddy. I won't. And then what does the dad do? Let go. He's like, and the kid looks back. He's like, what the? And he falls into the bush, and he doesn't trust his dad ever again for 20 years. You know what I mean? He's like, what the heck? Dad, you lied to me. I'm never riding a bike ever again. No. And then he gets. So he didn't really help him at all. But if I would have let him go right away, he actually would have learned how to ride faster. And so one of the most important things you can do as a leader, you're all leaders right now. When you become an organizational leader, you have a position, a title, to grow the organization, the people. Like training wheels, you got to examine the organization, the culture, the norms, and find out what are we doing that we're saying helps us grow as a company or a team, and it's actually hindering our growth. Where are the training wheels we need to get rid of? That actually are not teaching people to grow and be better, but actually limiting their growth, stunting their growth. What truths have we bought into that are erroneous, that are false? That is hard to do. But that is how you grow people. You must make them examine the norms, the beliefs, the cultures of their company, their organization that they think is real. Like I would have, this has been about 60, 70 years training wheels. We just keep doing it because it's been done for us and actually doesn't help kids at all. And so when we want to grow back and be like Peter Pan, if you really want to grow, you got to have what I call a T-ball mindset. What is this right here? You want to know what it's called? It's called a T. Okay? What do kids do on a tee? What's the point of it? It helps them hit the ball. What do most kids do when they play t-ball? They don't hit the ball. They miss. And they miss a lot. What's the difference, though, from the 5-year-old on a t-ball to a 15-year-old out here playing baseball when they miss? What's the difference? The 5-year-old and the 15-year-old, yeah. No, when they miss, when they swing, they strike out. What's the difference between the 5-year-old's mindset and the 15-year-old's mindset? Yes.
The 15-year-old is really discouraged and feel like they messed up. The 5-year-old just comes back and
Yes, Jack. The 15-year-old becomes discouraged, loses confidence, and Jack said the 5-year-old just keeps coming back, keeps swinging. Has a beginner's mindset, the Peter Pan mentality. We call it, in Asian philosophy, tabula rasa, blank slate. You got to have a beginner's mind. You know, Google did research and shows that new hires can solve problems better than a lot of people who've been there a long time. Because they're coming with a new mind, a fresh mind, a beginner's mind. And they haven't been institutionalized yet. You want to have expert intelligence, but a T-ball mindset. No kid ever says, I'm bad at baseball because they strike out 1,000 times. But older people do. The older you get, the more people that quit. In fact, the number one reason why kids quit as they grow up is because of the inappropriate behavior of the grown-ups watching them. We've all seen the videos of parents fighting coaches, fighting each other, yelling at kids, and kids start getting the idea that I'm only valuable when I'm good, and I'm worthless if I do bad. And they put the bat down. And we stop growing. But if you have a T-ball mindset, you know failure is not a bad thing. Failure and success are not two separate things. Failure produces my success. You know, one of the greatest hitters of all time, Derek Jeter, said, everyone talks about my hits, but no one mentions my 3,000 strikeouts. They're there too. You learn more from winning by losing than you do winning by winning if you examine it right. Experience doesn't make you better. Reflection on experience does. And from the age birth to 15, you will grow more. Most people, with exceptions, you will grow more from birth to 15 than 16 to death, even though those years are smaller. Because kids are constantly reading, growing, beginning mindset, T-ball mentality, and they're not afraid to fall down and fail. In fact, when you were 2 and 3 learning to walk, what does a kid do? It's like on a bike, they fall down a lot. What does a kid do when they try to learn how to walk? They fall down all the time. But not once, never did you ever say to your parents or yourself, you know what, Mom, Dad, this walking thing, it ain't for me. I'm just going to crawl the rest of my life. No, there's an innate voice inside all of us that says, rise, child. Step up, rise up, elevate, do it again. No little kid defines their walking worth based upon their falls, their baseball worth based upon their strikeouts, their bicycle worth based upon their falling. They know, I'm just going to get better next time. Yet you become 15, 16, and if you're not the starter on the varsity team, you quit. You're not the starter in the play, you quit. You get up, put your bat down. The T-ball mindset is you keep swinging. Keep swinging. You know, one of the greatest examples of a T-ball mindset is Michael Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the greatest basketball player I've ever seen play. 3 championships in a row, Chicago Bulls, the most dominant guy in the game. And sadly, his dad dies, murdered. And Michael retires and goes to baseball, his dad's favorite sport. And this is pre-social media. But the media then just ridicules Michael, puts him down. Sports Illustrated puts Michael Jordan on the cover and says, Michael Jordan's embarrassed baseball. Because he wasn't good yet. He had a beginner's mind. He was in the minor leagues. But his coach talked about, his batting coach, here's Michael, his bloody hands, calluses from all the extra batting practice before and after normal practice. He goes, man, I wish someday my son grows up to embarrass me the way Michael Jordan embarrassed baseball. And Michael hasn't forgiven Sports Illustrated ever since. And now with social media, I understand why. I can't imagine being a 16-year-old athlete and having yourself posted on social media. But again, no one who's created anything is going to criticize you. No one who's in love with their life is going to want you to hate yours. So don't listen to them. The price of a bright light is mosquito bites. Don't dim for dimwits. Keep swinging. Keep riding. Try something new. And Michael was getting better and better. And got a home run once in the minor leagues. Maybe could have made it to the White Sox, but the baseball went on strike. And you know what Michael did? He went back to the Bulls. And you know what happened that first year back? The Bulls lost to Orlando Magic. And you know what all the media said? Michael's lost it. He's washed up. No good. He lost in the first round, I think, to Orlando. Do you know what Michael did the next year? Won 3 championships in a row. 3 more. Makes 6. Has that T-ball mentality. For the rest of your lives, if you really want to grow, bring a team with you when you're 15, when you're 20, 25, 30, 50, 60, 70. Always have that beginner's mind. You're not going to be good right away. Same is true in writing. Anything written once is really written well. The real writing happens in the rewriting, the revisions. That's how you grow in writing and revising. That's how you grow in baseball and writing and anything. Your bike. You need to fail a lot. It's imperative to your growth. So stop putting down the bat. Stop hiding. Go out there and try new things. Go try out for that play or that cooking thing. Fall on your face. And remember what you knew when you were a little kid. How to get back up again. You deserve that kind of growth. The people you lead deserve that kind of leader who's going to foster that kind of growth. I think back to these training wheels, my niece Lily Schultz, who's now 10, 5th grade, but I think she was in 2nd grade, wherever she was, learning how to ride a bike. She had her training wheels on. One day she's in the neighborhood and she sees these 2 boys on the other street. They see her on the training wheels and she feels kind of embarrassed. And tomorrow she's going to drive by their neighborhood again and she wants to be off the training. She says, Dad, take my training wheels off now. I got to look good for the boys. You know, she had to impress them. And my brother was like, it was his birthday. I want to relax. I want to watch football. And she said, no, Dad, please. He's like, I don't want to, Lily. Dad, take them off now. You have to. Please, please, please. Whatever relent. Finally, my brother takes off the training wheels, helps her go. She almost falls a few times. And then finally she gets it. And she's balancing all by herself. Like Coach Wood would say, the second most important word is balance. The first most important word is love. You got to love yourself enough to gain the balance by falling. And after she's done, she's so excited. She says, Dad, how does it feel? You got to watch your daughter learn to ride a bike. And he said, honey, it was the best birthday gift ever. And then she made up a word as kid. She goes, Dad, it's called deservement. He goes, what? It's a deservement. A deservement comes when you do something for somebody else to help them grow. And then the world rewards you for it. I'm like, it's like a little 6, 7-year-old mind saying these things? A deservement. The same girl said, I love you big, giant, much. She told me once, hey, Stephen, Uncle Stephen, do you know that I was born ready for everything? I go, really? And you were all born ready for everything. There's wisdom in youth. Don't grow up. You know how Peter Pan flies? There's 3 things you need to learn how to fly. You know what they are in Neverland? No one knows? Number 1, you got to believe you know you can fly. You need some pixie dust. And you need to think what? Who said it? Happy thoughts. You got to believe you can fly. You need some pixie dust. And you got to think happy thoughts. Who thinks more happy thoughts? 2-year-old to 15-year-old or 16-year-old to death? The young kid. So grow back. Don't give up. Don't grow back. And lead up. Elevate others. by knowing you can grow. Have that beginner's mind. You know, last year, I started working out for the first time, and probably ever, but one of my former students was training to be a trainer in college, needed hours, so I was like, I'll train you. On the first day, he's like, okay, do 20 push-ups as a warm, 20 push-ups. I go, I don't think I can do 20. He goes, well, how many do you normally do? I go, I don't do push-ups. I don't know what you're talking about. I can only get 5 out. I felt so embarrassed. I came back the next day, I told my kids, I only had, now it was COVID, so I had like 3 kids per class. I said, guys, I can only do 5 push-ups yesterday. The kids, they were laughing at me. The football team was. No, anyway. I love them, but just a few weeks ago, I did 30 push-ups for the first time. And I remember feeling so bad after I had that 5, but I came to class, or that kid laughed at me, and I saw the teeth. I was reminded of my own teachings. Hey, Steve, you want to get bigger, you got to start with 5. It's no big deal. A 5-year-old wouldn't care. Have a childlike mindset, that T-ball mentality. I started running at the same time. I couldn't even do a 1 lap around Bolton track. Couldn't even complete a whole lap without stopping. A few weeks before summer ended, I ran 10 miles. Almost a year to the date I started. Never in my life, I don't think I even did more than 2 miles when I was a student here, did I think 10 miles is possible for Steve Schultz. But slowly, I got that first lap, then the second lap. I remember the first mile I got, like, wow. And then I want to get the second mile. That runner's high is a real thing, and it's propelling you. The first mile is always terrible. Still to this day, the first mile sucks. But then you push past it. You can't get to 10 if you're willing to suffer barely do 1. You can't get to 30 if you're willing to suffer doing 5. But when you believe you can, when you add some pixie dust and you think happy thoughts, you know how to fly. And every day of my runs now, just for a few seconds, I put my arms out, I just go like this. What do little kids think when you see little kids do this, their arms stretched out? What do they really believe when they're doing this? Flying. They believe they're flying. And it's a reminder to me to grow back and help myself grow so I can grow those I lead. Because when I do that, you gain deservement, as my little niece said. You sacrifice self to serve someone else and help them grow and be better. That teeter-totter leader. Lower yourself to the bottom of the teeter-totter, elevate others to the top of your love, and you gain deservement. That joy of knowing someone else is now greater because you dared to do good. Doing well for yourself is good. Doing good for others is greater. Doing well for yourself is good. Doing good for others is greater. You want to be greater? Keep growing. Put out the T. That's how you grow. Make sense? All right. You have the rest of the class up here right now to work on your essays. If you want to help, raise your hand. I'll come by, look over your first sentence, your first paragraph, whatever you need. We can grow together. Make sense? All right.